Well, the economy is much improved for blue-collar workers under President Trump's leadership, but another group that continues to do astonishingly well are employees of the federal government. According to a new report by the watchdog group Open the Books, the federal government pays its workers $1 million per minute, $66 million per hour, and $524 million per day. Great paycheck. And at 78 federal government agencies, the average employee compensation exceeded $100,000 in 2016. All of that is being paid for with your tax dollars. So for more, let's bring in from Chicago the CEO and founder of Open the Books, Adam Andrzejewski, right? Andrzejewski? Is that your name?
You got it, Katie.
All right, sounds
Absolutely.
good. So let's go through these numbers one more time. Astonishing. By the minute, how much are we paying federal employees for their time?
Well, federal employees, the bureaucracy is paid $1 million a minute, and you're exactly right, it's $500 million a day. What we also found when we not only opened those books, but we audited them, our team of auditors found that there are 30,000 federal bureaucrats that out-earn every governor of the 50 states at $190,000 a year. That's their salary. We also found that if you're a highly compensated federal bureaucrat, and we define that as over $200,000 a year of salary and bonus, the number of federal employees has increased over the course of the last 6 years by 165%.
So what about that? The president has been criticized for not filling all the positions in the federal government. Can the federal government function without filling these positions, and would it actually make it more beneficial for taxpayers?
So the president has led on this with his own payroll at the White House. He's running a leaner payroll than at the same point as during the Obama administration. He's down 100 positions, and we forecast that would save taxpayers $20 million over the course of his 4 years. The First Lady is also leading on this. She has a payroll of 5 employees versus 24 employees as former First Lady Michelle Obama had. But here's the point, Katie. Everybody watching the program here tonight needs to come to openthebooks.com. We have mapped the 2 million federal bureaucrats by zip code so everyone can see in their own zip code a small piece of the swamp, a small piece of the federal bureaucracy. All of us need to give it oversight, and when we give that oversight, there has to be transparency impact. We have to ask our member of Congress what they are doing to squeeze out the bloat in the federal bureaucracy.
So it's not just inside the Beltway. It bleeds itself out into the rest of the country as well. You talk about oversight and transparency. The numbers on bonuses are absolutely incredible. 330,000 bonuses for $351 million. Total federal bonuses, $1.5 billion. And none of that is disclosed, essentially, or is a very small portion.
Right, only 1/3 of the total bonuses are actually disclosed, and this is a real problem. It's a transparency problem because the unions, the federal unions, negotiated into their contract that the performance bonuses, that's $1.1 billion worth of performance bonuses, aren't disclosed. They aren't disclosed to we the people on who gets what in terms of performance bonus. And we showed that small federal agencies, there's an agency out in San Francisco, California. They only employ 300 people, but three out of the 4 largest bonuses last year, they had 3 of them. These are not rocket scientists. They're not curing cancer. They're a land management organization.
Right.
And the top bonus in the entire federal system went to their human resource manager. It was $141,000 last year.
So how is that? I mean, how is it that this is negotiated at such a high rate? As we said at the beginning of the segment, many of these bureaucrats are being paid as much or more than elected senators. I mean, how does that process work, and how do they get to those numbers?
Well, it's not only the compensation on salary and bonuses, but it's also other perquisites like paid time off. So if you're a federal bureaucrat and if you hit your 3-year anniversary, you stand in line to get 8.5 weeks of paid time off. It's 10 holidays, 13 sick days, 20 vacation days, 43 days a year of paid time off. That's a perk that cost taxpayers every single year $22 billion.
Sounds like Europe, European style living and working to me inside the Beltway and outside, as you pointed out. The 2018 elections are coming up. Republicans have been running for years on cutting spending. Spending cuts are always very difficult. But if you could advise politicians and congressmen on Capitol Hill who are worried about this issue, what would you say to them in terms of how to make sure that taxpayer dollars aren't being abused in this way?
2 cuts for $2 billion, really quickly, and the bonus program. It's $1.5 billion. And then, Katie, and this is bipartisan, federal PR officers. There's 3,500 of them. The line item in the budget every single year is $500 million on salary and total cost, and that should be cut as well.
Okay. Well, Adam, thank you so much for your expertise. We have a lot of work to do.